Despite being one of the most iconic, sexy villains in comic book history, a lot of people don't actually seem to know a whole lot about Poison Ivy, also known as Pamela Isley. In one such comic, Pamela formed a very deep love for nature when she was a child. She used to spend all of her time in her childhood garden, but there's a dark secret behind why she did so. Very young, she witnessed a murder. She witnessed her father murder her mother, and since then, she spent all of her time in the area that her father buried her mother, which was their garden. Because of that, Pamela formed a very deep attachment to nature, and I think she sees it somewhat as her own mother figure. Pamela didn't gain her metahuman powers, of course, until the accident that occurred while she was in her later years as an adult. As an adult, naturally, Pamela became a botanologist as she found plants just to be so interesting she wanted to dedicate her life to the study of them. Worked under another doctor known as Jason Woodrow. Jason became so obsessed and jealous of Pamela's own successes in her career that whenever he came to confess his love for her and she ultimately rejected him, he ended up throwing some mixtures of experimental chemicals on her, which of course turned Pamela into Poison Ivy, at least the one that we know and recognize today. I personally really enjoy Poison Ivy. She's probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite, female supervillain. That her look from comic to comic varies a lot, but is actually really interesting. By the way, have you ever wondered why Poison Ivy sometimes appears in comics to have white skin and then other times appears to have green skin? A lot of this is due to artistic interpretation. However, there is one comic out there that does explain why she went from this to that. It was near the Injustice comics, and Pamela actually sacrificed herself to save the Justice League. Weird, right? But she did. Whenever Pamela was reborn, she ended up looking like this because her old body had been basically destroyed.